see everybody.
Here are my 3 note cards. It's 115 degrees outside. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. You haven't slept in 2 days. You're eating a lukewarm meal that you really don't like, and you're guarding a bridge that to you it means no significance. This is the daily life of an infantryman while deployed. Today I'll be discussing and informing you about the United States Army Infantry, which I was a part of for 9 years. I'll talk about the illustrious history of the infantry, the differences in infantry. There's a light and a heavy, and basically the daily life of an infantryman while in garrison or deployed. The United States Army Infantry was established on June 14th, 1775 by the First Continental Congress. In the beginning there was 2 infantry rifle companies, or 10 infantry rifle companies. One of those is still in service today. It is the 3rd Brigade Old Guard. What the Old Guard does is it guards the tomb of the unknown soldier. It's a very, very illustrious unit to be a part of. There are strict guidelines that you must follow to be in the Old Guard. You have to be a certain height, certain weight. You have to take a sworn oath of allegiance to never swear again, drink in public, and hold outstanding values that the Army values dear. The infantry is the oldest branch in the Army. The branch insignia for the infantry is the crossed rifles. When you're going through basic training, all infantrymen, what they want to get more than anything is their blue cord and their crossed rifles that goes on your lapel. The motto of the infantry is "Follow me." That we're first in the fight, we're the last off the battlefield. The branch color for the infantry is light blue. God loves the infantry, that's why the sky is blue. Life in garrison for an infantryman can be kind of boring. It's very regimented and it's very redundant. When I was in the infantry, I got up usually around 4:30 in the morning, get dressed, and get ready to go, because formation was at 0700. At 0700, we'd take accountability formation, make sure that everybody's there and everybody's accounted for, and then we would start PT, which is physical training, which is the fun part of being in the infantry. Usually you'd start with push-ups, sit-ups, and then you'd go on a light run would be 5 miles. Normally we'd run about 8 or 9 in a day. After you get done with that, which is usually around 8:15, you go in, you'd shower, and get dressed for the day. When you're in garrison, your uniform had better be starched and pressed. There better be a crease running down the leg and a crease running down the arm. Your boots, you'd better be able to shave in your boots. You show up for 9 o'clock work call formation. At that time, what you do is the first sergeant, which is the highest ranking non-commissioned officer in your company, will tell your platoon what you're going to be doing for that day. It could be cutting grass. It could be going to the motor pool and sweeping the motor pool. It could be anything that he thinks of, depending upon what type of mood he's in. At about 11:30, you'll break and you'll go to lunch, and you get to come back at 1300. 1300 is 1 o'clock. And then he tells you if there's anything else that needs to be done, whether it be cleaning up the common grounds or anything like that. After that, at about 4:30, you have what's called COB formation, close of business. At close of business, He just tells you don't get in trouble. Don't call me. That's his basic motto. Don't call me. Life in the field while you're not deployed is very boring. You wake up at about 4:30 in the morning, make sure your weapons are clean, make sure your teeth are brushed, you're shaved, and you're ready to go. In the field, you don't have to worry about your uniform as much because you're already dirty. The shortest amount of time that I was in the field while I was in the infantry was about 6 weeks. It goes anywhere. They tell you from a month to 3 months. The longest I spent was about 3.5 months. You stink. Everybody around you stinks. You've got a month's worth of camouflage draped all over your face. Fun time. That was my favorite part of time being in the infantry, was when you're training. You get up, you perform day missions, where you go on patrol, fake patrols to look for the enemy, find them, and do your training. Then at about 2200, 10 o'clock at night, you would do night patrols, which you're walking around with night vision goggles on, and just doing the same thing that you did during the day. And that gets done at about 2:30 in the morning. And like my PowerPoint says, you get up at 4:30. So you're not sleeping much when you're out in the field. But that's the funnest time to me, being while I was in the infantry. While you're deployed, it's a whole different ballgame. You're always on alert. You're looking for anything that may kill you, for lack of a better term. It could be an IED, an improvised explosive device. It could be a sniper. It could be anything that could kill you. While I was in Iraq, I had the day shift gate guard, which means I worked from 6 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening, and we guarded our front gate of our forward operating base, AFA. We was there during the hottest part of the day, and in Iraq it's quite warm, and you're wearing 70 pounds of gear while you're there. After that, depending upon if we had to do a raid that evening, since the other part of our platoon would be doing the night shift, the day shift gets to do the night raids. While you're asleep, while they are there, you load up, you find out what your mission is, what house you need to hit, and then you go. Once you load up, you pull up to the house. You usually pull about 3 or 4 blocks away from them, and then kick in the door, and if it shoots at you, you shoot back to look for intelligence or any insurgents that may be there. That's scary, and my family don't really like to hear about it. There are 2 different types of infantry: light infantry and heavy infantry. A light infantryman will tell you there's nothing light about being light infantry, because everything that they carry is on their back, which is usually about 120 pounds. That's their sleeping bag, all their food, all their ammunition, everything is in their rucksack. There are 2 different types of light infantry. There's airborne, which jumps out of a C-130 airplane, and air assault, which fast ropes out of a helicopter and then goes in and finds the enemy, which is what I love to do. That's fun. Heavy infantry is what I was. I was on a Bradley fighting vehicle. It is a more heavily armored and less maneuverable than a light infantry unit is. That's me while I was deployed. There are Bradleys, there's Strykers, there's Humvees, and there's mortars. Those are your heavy infantry brigades. They are the ones who usually get attacked by rocket-propelled grenades more than anything, because it's a bigger target. This is the infantryman's creed. We had to learn it by heart and spout it off whenever possible. That's what the cross rifles look like. That's what every infantryman fights for through basic training.
Mom.
In conclusion, the Army Infantry is very illustrious and a very storied organization. I was proud to be a part of it, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Thank you.
Stephanie's not doing a very good job.
That means you're gonna have to do it over with those kids,